In my last video, we talked about getting the dog to stay on the start line. In this video, I want to talk about getting the dog to actually come off the start line. All too often, I see so much reinforcement put in staying on the start line that the dogs don't want to come out of position. With a few fun foundation exercises, you can easily teach your dog that coming off of the start line is just as exciting as staying on the start line. I'm just a dog girl, and this is how I teach my dogs to leave the start line. If you've noticed, every behavior that I train starts with foundation exercises. The first foundation exercise that I do for teaching my dog to release off the start line is I get them racing to a bowl or a target with food or reinforcement in it, like a ball. I want my dog to hear their release word and happily run forward. So what I'm doing with fun is I'm showing him that there's reinforcement in the bowl, removing him from the situation, using my release word, and allowing him to go forward. As you can see, I am also restraining him, which makes it more exciting. Here in this foundation exercise, I am restraining him and then racing him to the bowl. Racing builds more excitement and drive. This video shows a similar game with a ball. I'm asking him to sit, and then I release him to chase his toy. I can do this with just releasing him to it, and I can do it with racing him to it. But I want the dog to readily run off that start line when I use my release word. Another variation of the ball exercise is to throw the ball forward first, restrain the dog, and then release the dog to the ball on their release word. This again makes it more exciting. For dogs that are toy motivated, a fun game to practice is releasing them to their tug toy in your hand. So as you can see, I'm jazzing fun up with the toy. We're playing a little bit, getting involved with the toy. I'm gonna ask him to drop it, I'm gonna ask him to stay, and then I'm going to release him to that tug toy. This builds some value and drive into coming out of position. For dogs that aren't super toy motivated, you can do the same thing with cookies. So I'm gonna ask him to sit, get him excited, you ready, you want it? Okay, get that toy. Good boy, Fun. You can practice these exercises in a formal environment. However, bringing them to a more informal environment is what is going to show your dog that this is just a game and not training. Here you can see I've brought the same exercises to the pool for fun. You can use these exercises in the backyard, waiting at the door, waiting for meals, or even waiting to get out of the car. Anything that you can make exciting for your dog is going to be helpful in this scenario. Once you bring these exercises back into the agility ring, don't worry about your dog jumping full height at first. It's nice for them to have a little bit more encouragement to come off of the start line with a lower bar. This exercise is good for dogs that have become too impulsive on the start line. What I am doing is using other words that are not his release word, and he is having to sift through them to hear his release word. I do not work this exercise with low drive dogs or dogs that are slow to come off of the start line. So it's really important that you know what kind of dog you have, or you're going to have a dog that starts questioning if they should leave the start line on your release. The Ready Ready or Ready Steady or 1, 2, 3 game is a really exciting game for the dogs. I typically start this back at the bowl or the target, however, I did not display that in my videos. What I do is I get them excited, I get them jazzed, and I ask them if they're ready, and then I release them. This is a great way to get the dog extremely excited about leaving that start line. I always stress to my students that agility is just a big game of chase. So I'm having fun chase me with the lure, and he's getting reinforced for coming off of that start line. I want to emphasize that all of these exercises take time and patience. It's not worth pushing your dog through the foundation exercises to get into the agility ring and have slow or not at all releases. Work with your dog, enjoy your time with your dog, and always remember, happy dogs are a must. I'm just a dog girl, and thanks for watching my video.